Hello students, welcome to the English class again. Well students, I hope you all have seen the past few video lectures where I have been doing the recapitulation of the old chapters from Flamingo. In my last video lecture I have started with one poem, that is Elementary School. I hope you have gone through it and your doubts are cleared. Today in this video lecture we will start with another new poem, Keeping Quiet. Though I have provided you with the PPT video, I have provided you with the PDF and also some of the animated videos from Keeping Quiet. But today in this video lecture we will go line by line and see that which important questions had come from this particular poem. Okay, so let's start. Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Well, if you have seen your classwork, I have also provided you with one video about Pablo Neruda. So I don't have to repeat that who this poet is, because of course this video lecture concentrates only on the important questions that would come from this poem. Okay, let's start with the poem. This poem, Keeping Quiet, the poet in this poem has emphasized the importance of introspection. Okay, man has become very selfish and his own actions cause him many miseries. The world today stands divided by the man-made boundaries of caste, creed, race, religion, language, culture, nationality, and geographical divisions. We need to rise above these shadow lines, okay, and look at the larger picture. The poet talks about the necessity of creating a feeling of mutual understanding among human beings, right? Now, if we see the first stanza, okay, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. These two particular line is very important because these two are the starting line also, and if you see the end of the poem, here also the poet says, now I will count up to 12. Okay, so at the beginning and at the end this line has been repeated, okay, though with slight difference. Okay, there is a slight variation between the utterance of both these lines. Okay, now to see the beginning of the poem, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. So the poet has started the poem in the form of a kind of, what we can say, a game. Okay, like a kind of game, like let's count to 12 and then let's play hide and seek and like this, some kind of game. Here the poet says about 12. Okay, so one question that has been given stress to is the significance of 12. Okay, significance of 12. Why is 12 being said by the poet? Why is the poet saying 12? What is the significance of 12? Okay, in my PDF video, this question answers PDF, I have provided you with the significance of 12. Okay, but still I am telling you again, 12 is actually what we can say, a kind of count. Okay, 12 represents the entire world. 12 represents the 12 time zones. Okay, 12 represents the time. If you see our clock has 12 numbers. Okay, 12 times, the 12 bigger times the clock hand move. Okay, and the clock is the picture of the world. If you see the clock, it is as round and oval as the world, right? So 12 encompasses everything. Okay, one full round. Okay, one full round is 12. Okay, half of the day is 12. 12 hours plus 12 hours makes 24 hours a day, isn't it? So 12 represents everything. 12 encompasses everything. So when the poet says we will all keep still, he is actually enforcing upon the fact that let the whole world come together and let everyone keep still. Let everyone become silent for that 12 minutes or 12 seconds. You don't know how many time. For once on the face of earth, let's not speak in any language. So here when the poet says face of the earth, of course the poet emphasizes face of the earth means the entire world. Okay? The poet urges each one of us to count up to 12 and then be quiet. The poet might have used the phrase count to 12 as there are 12 hours represented on a clock, or as there are 12 months in a year. Okay? He might have wanted the people to keep still as long as they could. Okay, he wants a moment of silence on the earth when no language is spoken. Okay, so just see, let's not speak in any language, no language is spoken. If you observe around the world, we have thousands and thousands of languages in the corners of the world, in the remote corners of the world also there is someone or the other speaking in any language. In this context, I have also explained you about the Babel. Do you remember the country of Babel? Country of Babel. Well, let me tell you in this context what is this country of Babel. Those who know better, those who don't know, for them I am repeating. You know, once what happened, human being became very much proud. Okay, humans became very proud and they thought they can equal themselves with God. Of course, I'm telling the story from Bible. Okay, so they started to build a tower. Okay, and they thought this tower will be as tall, so tall that the tower can reach heaven, and by climbing the tower they can reach heaven, they can go to God. Okay, they have that capability. Human thought that they have that ability, that capability, that they can climb the tower and reach heaven. So they started building. Many people came together unitedly. Okay, unitedly they started building the tower, and days passed. Okay, days passed and the tower became taller and taller and taller and it reached quite tall. And then one day what happened, God had seen that the tower is becoming taller. Okay, and you know, the entire play of the world of the God, everything is created by God. So God had did one thing. He saw that the people became united just because they can understand each other. Okay, they understood each other. Whatever they are instructing, they are able to follow. There would be one architecture, isn't it, who will be creating the tower. So whatever this mastermind is saying, the others are able to understand, and as they are able to understand, they had become united and they have started helping. Okay, or they have started to work together. So God played a game with them. What did God do? God changed their languages. Each one of them were speaking now in different language. Right? No one was speaking one single language. The one who was instructing the other, he was now speaking in some other language, and the others who were following, they were now speaking in some other language. Not a single person was able to understand each other. As a result, what happened? A Babel was created. What is the meaning of Babel? Utter confusion. Lots of sound and noise, but nothing to be understood. Utter confusion. So an utter confusion had created around it. As a result, the laborers who were building the tower, they were unable to understand their master. The master who were commanding them were unable to understand what the laborers are saying. And because of this confusion, there grew what? Disunity. Okay? The tower could not be completed. And that tower was named as Tower of Babel. Now, with this particular story, what do we come to know? That we human beings are very much similar to each other, but it is our language which makes us different, isn't it? We are different from any European people or any other Asian or our neighboring countries just because of our language. We are unable to understand each other, isn't it? Leave aside the other country. In India only you see how many languages are there. Those who are in north, they can't even understand what the southern people are speaking. Those who are in south cannot understand what the eastern people are speaking, isn't it? So these languages is the means of confusion. This language is the mean of disunity. Okay, so here the poet says, let's not speak in any language, because when we speak up we create confusion, we create disharmony, and when we remain silent, harmony prevails. Okay, so let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So let's not move our arms anymore. Okay, so here the poet says that when there will be no language, barrier between people will also not be there. No harsh words will be spoken. In this moment of silence, what would happen? The poet doesn't want anyone to move their arms. He wants us to remain motionless. Arms. What is the meaning of these arms? Arms means the physical arms which we have in our body part, and arms can also means arms and ammunition, weaponry. Okay? Now, let's go to our board question. Which questions are important? This particular stanza has come for extract question. This stanza had come repeatedly for extract question. Now, which year these questions have come? 2009, 2011, 2013. Okay, now we will count till arms so much has come these 3 years. Okay, as an extract question. Now, what are the questions that can come from here or that has come from here? Number one question, write down here. What is poet's request? Okay. Then number two question. What does speak not in any language mean? Right? What does the expression not speak in any language suggest? Of course, people all over the world, they are speaking in different language, should maintain calm and remain quiet. Okay? Next. Number 3, another question. What does the poet hope to achieve by keeping quiet? What does the poet hope to achieve by keeping quiet? Well, what does the poet achieve? The poet wants to get an opportunity to introspect, okay, to get a feeling of togetherness, right? So another question, last one question is also there, which is very much important, is that not to move our arms. Not to move our arms. What does the poet mean by this? Okay, so what does the poet mean? It means introspection requires stillness, no physical activity, and physical activity interferes in the mind's process. Okay, and not to move our arms can also mean that is not to use any weaponry. Now, one thing I would like to tell you, students, since from this year these extract questions will be coming in the MCQ pattern, so you will be getting like 4 options, okay, for every question. So I would request students, please go through the options carefully, and which one you find is the best option, tick mark that only, or write the answer there only. Okay, now to continue. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. So, this stanza, since I have already explained to you earlier, the poet feels that such a moment of silence would be an unusual and exciting one. It will have miraculous consequences. There will be no hurry or the sound of machines to pollute the atmosphere. It will be a strange and unfamiliar moment, okay, with stillness all around. In this unusual period, the bonds of humanity will get stronger. Now, from this particular part, what happens is that 2 marks question had come repeatedly. Okay, first question you write it down. Which is the exotic moment? Which is the exotic moment? This had come in the year 2014. Which is the exotic moment? Okay. Another question that has come: why does one feel a sudden strangeness? Okay, these had come in the year 2015, 2017, 2019. Why does one feel a sudden strangeness on counting to 12 and keeping quiet? Okay, normally what happens, people are active and sounds of machines are heard. When we keep quiet and introspect, it will be a strange and unfamiliar moment. Thus we will feel a sudden strangeness at this moment. Sudden strangeness means suddenly we will feel a kind of bond of humanity, or a unity had developed amongst each and every human being living on this planet. Okay, now the most important stanza: fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Well, regarding this, I have provided you a detailed explanation in the PPT video. I have given you the question PDF also regarding this particular stanza. So please go through that. Okay, I'm not repeating those explanation. If you really want the explanation, then go through those videos. Okay, then you will get the proper explanation of this stanza. What I am concentrating over here is the question. Now this particular stanza is very important. Extract question had come from this particular stanza in the year 2008, 2010, 2011, 2013, 2015. Okay, now fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. What kind of question comes? Okay, like how keeping quiet is going to help the man who works as salt gatherer, or what does the expression hurt hands imply? Okay, what is the figure of speech has been used in the first line of the stanza? This is very important. Okay, figure of speech used. Okay, in the word cold sea. What figure of speech is used in the word cold sea? Can anyone say? Well, the answer is transferred epithet. Cold sea. The sea is not cold, but it is the human feeling which is cold. Okay, and this human feeling is transferred to the sea. So therefore sea has been given the term as cold. So therefore transferred epithet. I hope everyone knows what is transferred epithet. Actually students, I am planning to make a video on the various literary devices that has been used in each and every poem of your syllabus. Okay, once I complete that video, of course I will provide it to you all. Okay, please go through it, because when your board exam is completely concentrating on MCQ, these literary devices or figure of speech, this kind of questions would become very, very important. Okay, so fisherman, this particular question is very important. This question had come repeatedly, so please give importance to this particular question. Usually this question comes for the extract based. Okay, Well, students, today I have done only the first page of Keeping Quiet. Okay, go through the video. Okay, in my next video, I will continue with the next part, that is the second page of Keeping Quiet. After completing the second page of Keeping Quiet, we will again concentrate on some of the short questions that have come from this poem. Please go through the video, watch it and listen to it carefully. If there is any doubt, please clarify it from me in the classroom. Okay, thank you, students. Study well.